Oregon football with Mike Bellotti.
Third and short. Gonna throw it. Looking, man coming from behind. Still looking, throws to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Jason Williams.
And with that, the Oregon Ducks take control over the Stanford Cardinal down on the farm. Hi, everyone. It's Oregon football with Mike Bellotti. Joe Giansante with head coach Mike Bellotti. And, boy, the offense in those quarters, second and third quarter, dominant. Your defense came on. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Very pleased to get a road win in the Pac-10. I think Stanford, we both had a lot to prove after our last games, and I think our kids came out a little bit hungrier. First quarter, we didn't really. We sort of stumbled a little bit, had some penalties, had some mistakes or miscues. Stanford moved the football in the first half, but our defense really responded in the second half, held them to 15 yards total offense the entire half, no scoring whatsoever other than the block punt, which was not the defense's fault. I thought Kellen Clemens continues to play excellent football, just a great field general, great passer, doing everything in this offense. The young tailback stepped up, made plays. Our defense, I'm just so excited because we challenged them at halftime to control the quarterback, contain him, put pressure on him. We did a great job. We also stopped the run, and the team just pulled away. The end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, we just separated ourselves from Stanford. We still have problems in the kicking game. I'm talking about kicking, I'm talking about coverage, I'm talking about returns, I'm talking about the whole bit, and we need to fix that in a hurry. Too many penalties. Some were penalties of commission or aggression, which again, it's hard to pull them back too much because I looked at the film. I can't tell why it is called a penalty. I won't say I'm going to get off the penalty kick, but overall, pleased with the win, pleased with where we're going. No injuries to speak of, and we're ready to go.
A little more about Kellen and the way he ran this offense, because he had 5 straight touchdowns, 7 of 8 drives in the middle of the game that resulted in points. You had a missed field goal was the other one. So in that stretch, second and third quarters, that's as well as this offense or any Oregon offense has looked in a long time.
Well, and to say this honestly, we can play better. I'll tell you honestly, we can run the football better in this offense. We didn't block it as well, and our quarterbacks now, we still need full speed work at the option aspect of it because it's different the way you practice it and in games. We threw the ball very well, and we picked on a young secondary for the Cardinal, and overall, though, very, very pleased with Kellen, his play, and his distribution of the football.
Well, 4-1 now, and you may not know it, but the Ducks are back in the top 25 at number 25 in the AP poll, so a big one setting up this week with Arizona State. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but first let's go to the highlights. Down on the farm at Stanford, I know a lot of you haven't had a chance to see this yet, and the Ducks are pulling out the green pants for the first time since '98. I love the mix-up.
Well, we've had 5 different uniforms in 5 games, and I might make it 6, so we'll just see what happens.
Maybe the yellow pants are going to come out on the next road trip. We'll have to wait and see, but the offense coming out, and DEMETRIUS Williams, what a spark he was able to give you early.
Every key play that needed to be made, he made it. Kellen just find a way to put the ball over there where he'd catch it. He made the play.
That was for 17 on a 3rd and 7 play. Ducks moving the ball efficiently right here, and James Finley gets the ball over the middle here. Nice play for James Finley. Let's take another look at it, Coach.
Well, great job, first of all, set up by a little token play action fake by Kellen. She didn't step to the back, held the backers a little bit underneath, and hits James Finley right on stride. Perfect job. He's, again, going to get good yards after catch. Pull through that one, he might be gone.
So Oregon in business already here at the start of the game, and hand the ball off the inside to DEMETRIUS Williams. He's going to pick up 7 yards to the 21-yard line. And then Terrell Jackson on 3rd and 1 coming up here, Coach, and coming up a little short, but he decided to go for it. And maybe a tough spot for Terrell there.
Yeah, we didn't get what we needed. Again, overall, lost some people there. Had the first down right there, could have kept going. Jeremiah Johnson came in and sort of young back mistake to try to go for the big play instead of just get the first down.
So the Ducks don't convert on the play. And again, Coach, I thought maybe tough spot here because it looks like he gets past the line as a forward progress, right? There you see his feet across.
Yes. The ball's in his left hand. It's tough. I thought he had it too, and I thought they should have given him forward progress, but again, you can't legislate it.
As it is, Stanford with the football after this stop, and they start to move a little bit. Kimball for 2 yards. Blair Phillips, the tackle, and you made a little change in the linebackers, Coach.
Yeah, well, A.J. Tuatili got hurt. We had to move somebody in. Blair Phillips, we put him in at Mike and moved Haberly to the will backer position. And they did a good job. He responded with 4 tackles, and generally was in the right place.
They have to punt after a quick 3 and out, but they're going to get it right back. First play of the drive, Kellen intercepted by Michael Oklo. His first interception of the year, 162 passes without a pick. And that's a heck of a record. You hate to see the pick, but you figure at some point it's going to come.
Well, yeah, and he just tried to force that one a little bit too tight of coverage, and he'll learn from that.
They start to move the ball a little bit. This is Kimball for 6 yards after Nick Frank picked up 8 yards. And then Edwards on this play. They looked a little fresh early, but boy, Oregon sure wore them down with a depth late. But for 7 yards here for Kimball to the 23-yard line. Coach, you've got a 3rd and 5, and the pressure starts to come. He was running all game long.
Yeah, we just, unfortunately, early on, we gave him some escape routes. We didn't contain the quarterback. Got the pressure on him. Again, forced a field goal here, which I'm appreciative of, the fact we didn't let him in. Their kicker did a nice job on the day.
Good kicker. He was hitting him from 60 yards in the warm-ups and put that one through. Cardinal lead it 3-0, and they're small, and that's being nice. Crowd appreciative, but the Ducks respond in a big way.
On 2nd and 15. Long count waiting for the snap. Has it. Fake the handoff. Looking way downfield. Wants to go deep. Got DEMETRIUS down the sideline. He's got it at the 45. He'll get caught from behind. Now gets away, and it's hit hard all the way to the Stanford 46.
Nice job again. They were playing it too deep, and we're just running the seams. Little token play fake again. Kellen, perfect throw in that dead area at the sideline. Hits DEMETRIUS, hold him up just a little bit. We don't want to leave him to safety. And DEMETRIUS off and running. Protect that football. It's always a worry when you start cutting back against the grain. Get that ball knocked out.
42 yards on the play, and then Terrell Jackson for a tough yard up the middle. After an incompletion, a big 3rd and 9 coming up.
Clemens, 2 wideouts left and 2 right. And on the shotgun, straight drop to throw with time going way downfield for DEMETRIUS. One-on-one coverage. Grab. He's got it inside the 15. What a great catch by DEMETRIUS.
Two things about this. One, great protection. It's a great catch by DEMETRIUS. It's a very nice throw. But they give credit to the offensive line and the backs. They're blitzing, bringing pressure. Kellen has a chance to step up, deliver the ball, put it right through the outside shoulder. Great job of touching the foot down inbounds. Get the ball. Great catch.
So let's get the ball down in the red zone. Here's Clemens on the throwback, looking for the tight end just off the hands of Tim Day. But Gary Croton saw something there and gets the perfect call down at the perfect time.
10 from the 11 of Stanford. And back and rolling right to throw. Pressure comes. Here's the screen to do Jonathan Stewart. 10. He's going to get it in.
Nice execution by our team. Kellen, not great throws. The first throw he threw, he could have set his feet. We come back with a similar concept idea, throw it back across. Again, the ball doesn't quite finish. Snoop's got to wait for it, but then he's got the speed and the blocking up front to get into the end zone untouched.
8 plays, 83 yards, 2 minutes 40. Coach, huddling up. No huddle this game. Didn't need to do it against Stanford. Talk about the change there in the offense, not using the no huddle.
Well, part of that was we just feel that there's such a limited amount of plays we can run in the no huddle. It's a great transition, a great changeup, but we need to get more gamut or more full array of plays in.
Stanford comes back, trailing now for the first time in the game, and a big one, 30 yards to Mark Bradford, is a good receiver. And then Kimball does it all on his own for 16 yards, and Finney gets a face mask on the play, too.
Yeah, Justin had 2 face masks on today. We'll have some interesting talks about that. But again, save a touchdown right there. You get him down any way that you can.
Edwards scrambled down inside, and then they're trying to get to the end zone. They go to the blue ball. They get it. Bradford over the shoulder, and 10-7 to end the quarter. So, again, the offense has moved the ball except for that 1 4th and 1. Stanford, though, again, moving the ball. And, you know, you kind of expected that Stanford would come out after the UC Davis and a week off. I mean, they had a bye before you. Washington has a bye before they play Oregon. California has a bye before they play Oregon. All these teams, and it gives you a chance to really prepare that first quarter and script it out, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And we did not play really crisply in that first quarter. Again, I was frustrated by our lack of ability to keep the quarterback in the pocket, the turnover on offense. We weren't quite as crisp as I thought we should be. I thought we were ready to play. It's just that some of that Stanford Stadium, sometimes we talked about having to make your own noise, your own emotion, because there's not a lot of people there.
Well, I could hear you one time calling for the punt team all the way in the press box. Like, punt team! And we could hear it.
Glad that's all you heard me call it.
Yeah. Well, we heard a few other things, too. We don't need to talk about that. All right, the Ducks about to take control of this one. The offense starting to really hit it. A 2-quarter stretch. Oregon completely dismantling the Cardinal. That and more when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti right after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Albertsons and Sports Program is brought to you by RV Corral and Northwest Chevy Dealers.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's go to the second quarter highlights. Oregon and Stanford. Down on the farm in front of, I think generously they said 27,000. It was more like maybe 20. Half of them were Duck fans, it seemed like. But your team seemed to really pick it up in the second quarter.
Well, I think, again, we got more focused. Again, Stanford moving the football helped us. I think it really created a need for us to respond.
Kellen really started to throw the ball well, right over the middle. Great throw and a nice catch by DEMETRIUS. So the Ducks picking them up in huge chunks now as they start to really move the football.
And the play fake, back to throw. Clemens way downfield. He's got Cameron Coleman. He's got it inside the 20 to the 17-yard line and down.
Clemens' pass is complete.
What you have to do there is drop it over the underneath coverage. Probably a little bit less air on this ball. Cameron could have gone for quite a bit farther, but nice catch and nice concentration. Kellen a little bit laying back. We had the wind, and the wind was a little bit of a factor here. Didn't want to go too far down the field for you to overthrow it, or the safety might make it get in on a play.
Cameron had his man beat by 5 yards there, but Oregon, again, moving the football.
Back to throw again. Pump fake, want to go to the end zone. He's got him. Rosario, touchdown.
This is a great play, great throw, and great catch. And again, we were faking inside, play fake, and then faking the screen, pumping it, going up. It puts it right in that hole. Just a great shot, nice catch, and then get into the end zone. Great job by Dante.
That ball's coming hot and heavy.
Yeah, that was a hot one. That came right out.
And great catch by Dante. Has been so sure-handed for you to get through the end zone.
Dante is that way. The catches he makes typically are first downs or touchdowns.
It's a good way to do it. Stanford in great field position after a big kickoff return. Edwards to Garrett Crochet for 10 yards and already into Oregon territory, trailing 14-10. And then Edwards to Bradford for 16 yards here. And another face mask penalty here. That's 15 yards. That one might have been called a 5-yarder, but he gets to 15 anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't seem, but again, you got to stay away from the face mask.
Evans for 10 yards down to the Oregon 7. But then I thought this was probably the critical point of the game. Your defense stiffens up. They try to run it in after no gain. Coach, they go to a draw to the fullback on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they thought they had success. Nice job by Bellotti and Anthony Trucks keeping it out. Great block by Bellotti. I think his 6th or 7th career block. Yeah, and that's a huge swing in the game momentum-wise in terms of keeping them out.
Take another look at it. You can see Bellotti right there, just to the right of where the ball's being snapped, and he gets his arm up just in time.
Great penetration and great timing. That because you again knowing where the ball is and the angle is going to be kicked is part of it, and then getting the penetration initially to create that opportunity.
Ball goes past the line. Ducks don't touch it, so don't make it a live ball again. Goes back out to the 20. Ducks start to move the football, and here comes the separation. Clemens to Coleman for 10, and then Jeremiah Johnson at tailback.
On first down at the 30-yard line and hand it off. Right up the middle, cut it outside. Big run. Jeremiah Johnson across the 45.
Jeremiah, again, we got to get him going. He's still running a little bit tentatively. His first game ever, brought him out of his red shirt. You did a very nice job. Our leading rusher on the day. He's got speed. He's got moves. You just got to, again, learn to trust his blocking and set it up, but he will get better. He's going to do a very good job for it.
A gain of 16 to the 46. He seemed to pick up steam as the game went along as well. Clemens to Rosario for 16 yards here, and so many different receivers. Now Finley's going to take it on the inside. What a diverse offense we got to see yesterday.
Yeah, it's fun. And again, I think that gives us a chance to distribute the football, as you talked about, and keep the pressure on the defense all the way around.
Oh, Jordan Kent.
Too bad. He made that catch against Fresno State. Just got to get there. But a nice throw, tough catch. But again, he can make that.
That's a tough one right over the dome. But 3rd and 1, Jonathan Stewart moves the chains. And then after a holding penalty on the Ducks, it's back to the 35. Clemens to Terrell Jackson for 16 yards on the shovel pass. Nice play to get it back to 3rd and 1. The Cardinal thinking run, Ducks thinking otherwise.
DEMETRIUS goes left, empty backfield. Clemens with a snap, back to throw. Pressure comes. He's got time. Now they'll scramble out to the right. Still running, still looking. Throws it toward the back of the end zone. It's Jason Williams with a grab.
Nice job again by our offensive line, initially providing protection. We're empty backfield. Kellen decides to get out. Alston can run now, so that's a good job by Kellen to scramble, find Jason Williams, who makes the correct move in the quarterback's eye, sees it there, gets to the back of the end zone, touchdown.
21-10 at that point, and whoever ever thought that would really be enough to win the game at that point, because the offense still really started to move the football. And again, the difference was the defense. Even though Edwards was able to get some plays, for the most part, he didn't have time like this, and they did get a big one, even though Aaron Gibson was right there again.
Yeah, again, that's one thing we talked about with Aaron. He's got to break that ball up. He cannot allow the ball to be caught.
Edwards looking for Bradford again. They get a pass interference on Jackie Bates down here on the near side.
Yeah, and Jackie's got to learn. Jackie's the fastest player on our team. He's got to play over the top of that. I'm a little frustrated by the fact that he continues to want to run with people. He can play over the top and be in a better position.
Take another look at that, Coach. It's Jackie is kind of running with the guy and just didn't get around on the ball. You see, got his arm in there.
Yeah, arm too early. And again, they called an arm bar, that type of thing. The ball would have been catchable. And anyway, it's just experience is going to make him better.
Big thing they hear for the defense, though, is they don't let him get in the end zone. Again, Edwards on the run. They complete it for a 7-yard gain. But then Anthony Trucks, look at him come out of the near side here for the big sack.
Yeah, it's good to get. He got a fresh start, a head start off the edge there. Nobody touched him. Tough to stop him.
Edwards going to get a little bit of it back right here as he goes to Bradford. Over to the near side. Jackie Bates right there on the coverage. But they end up with a 4th and 10, so Scroy comes back in. 6 seconds to go in the half, and he hits it 21-13 at halftime. Coach, you took the team to the locker room. You seemed in control of the game. It was only an 8-point lead. What did you say to the kids when you got them into the locker room?
Well, I was very frustrated. Frustrated by the penalties, frustrated by our lack of containment on the quarterback, frustrated by not taking advantage of more opportunities. We had moved the ball. We had not enough points for the yards that we had. And I said we need to do a better job of capitalizing on our opportunities, take their quarterback out of the game, and then just play harder. We needed to finish things, and we needed to prove that we really were hungry and wanted to change this thing.
Sure looked like they did all 3 of those things.
They did in the second half. They did. I appreciate that.
And a great third quarter, too. And then the fourth quarter got to see a lot of new faces on the Oregon football team. We'll show you that a little bit coming up here after we get through the halftime. A record-setting day for one of the best receivers in the history of Oregon football. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. DEMETRIUS Williams, his final trip home with the Ducks. The next time he plays in the Bay Area, it will be in the NFL. That and more when we return on Oregon football with Mike Bellotti right after this.
Quick step. We just get a quick word. All right.
This Oregon sports program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union. This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Kendall Auto Group and Jerry's Home Improvement.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here at the half, Oregon leading at 21-13 over the Cardinal. Now, Oregon's trip to Stanford is kind of a history maker. It's their last visit to Stanford Stadium as it exists now, as the Cardinal will undergo a major renovation after the season, and it's a good thing. Nearly 8,000 Oregon fans made the trip to Palo Alto for the game because without them, Stanford would have drawn less than 20,000 for the entire game. The crowd of 27,690 is the smallest for an Oregon game anywhere in the Pac-10 since the year 2000. And if you throw out Washington State and some of the small crowds they've had in Pullman, this was the smallest crowd Oregon has played in front of in conference play in 20 years. The new stadium will bring seats closer to the field. It will have a deck, kind of a mat court style, and should be a much better place for teams and visiting fans to visit. Now, thousands of fans that enjoyed this picture-perfect day at Stanford Stadium didn't have to go too far to do it. The Ducks, of course, always with several players from the Bay Area. This season, though, 5 players alone from De La Salle High School across the Bay. Of course, DEMETRIUS Williams is the dean of this group. In his senior year now for the Ducks, mobbed by friends, family, autograph seekers after the game. What a career for DEMETRIUS. His last game in his hometown area, setting the Oregon record for the number of 100-yard games at 9. He had those yards by the end of the first quarter in this one. You can only imagine what it's like for his family to see not just what a great football player DEMETRIUS has become, but also the kind of person he is, too.
It's always special to see your kid, especially when he's doing well. And to have him back home where he grew up, where he played against a lot of people. He watched the Cal games. We watched Stanford games. When he was 8, 9 years old, I'd bring him out here to Shrine games and that type of thing. And to see him on the field making those plays that we used to admire other kids doing is just a special thing, and there's no words to really describe it. My wife had on his jersey, and he said, "Are you D. Will's parents?" And we said, "Yeah." I want to tell you something. He is the sweetest, most gracious, and just giving person I've ever met. He is a great person. And for him to be a great person is much more important than a good football player.
And that brings us to our record-setting edition of the Internet Poll. All of the choices, Oregon record holders. So the question, who is the best receiver in Oregon history? Bob Millen, who has the record for yards in one season. Tony Harley, the record for yards in a game. Keenan Howry, a career of 24 touchdown receptions. Sammy Parker, 178 catches. That's an Oregon record. And now DEMETRIUS Williams with 100-yard games 9 times. That is also an Oregon record. Go to chambersports.com to place your vote. We'll have the results next week on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. All right, coming up, while the Duck offense is in the midst of scoring on 6 straight possessions, the defense turning up the heat on the Cardinal, and just like that, separation. That and more when Oregon football with Mike Bellotti continues right after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Pacific
Oregon
Continental
Sports
Bank
Program
and Steel is brought to you by Comcast and Northwest Ford Dealers.
Welcome back, everyone. Here we go to the third quarter highlights. Oregon and Stanford. Ducks starting to take control. The Oregon cheerleaders doing a nice job down at Stanford Stadium and keeping your fans into the ball game. They start with it, Coach, and the defense, you could tell the intensity different right from the start.
Absolutely. The pressure of the quarterback, we're right on the spot to make the tackles. Devin Long finishing the play, and Devin, again, was one of our problems in the first half. He wasn't playing with the same speed and intensity, but again, second half, he just worked just a little bit harder, and a lot of times that's what it is. An effort, a sack is an effort-type play. You just don't allow yourself to be blocked.
Beats the blocker, gets the sack, and a quick 3 and out for Stanford. 1:56 to be exact, and it doesn't take long for Oregon to put the hammer to the Cardinal here. Clemens to Weatherspoon for 7. I just thought this drive was great, Coach. I mean, all kinds of different plays, all bunch of different players. I mean, it was just a thing of beauty, I thought.
Well, the other thing, too, in distributing the football, you keep everybody into the game and excited about it. Tim Day with a catch, and nice job of getting some yardage after the catch. You also keep people fresh for that fourth quarter.
Also running Stanford side to side, left and right, then left and right, stretching the field. Out of bounds, Jeremiah Johnson for 4 yards, and then DEMETRIUS on the reverse for 14 yards, takes it all the way down to the Stanford 20. Coach, it looks easy at this point. I know it's not, though, but it sure looks easy.
Well, I think when you keep people off balance and you're stretching the field, that's the whole key. We come back with the exact same play now to Brian Pasinger. Again, just turn it on. Again, those type of things keep a defense very soft. They just don't know where to come.
The penalty moves it back. Oregon gets a few of it back. Jackson for 7 yards to the Stanford 15. Sets it a 2nd down and 5 for Clemens.
6. They need to get to the 10. They're at the 16-yard line. Back to throw. Clemens, pump fake. Wants to go to the end zone and catch.
This is a great catch. This is a tremendous courage-type catch by Tim Day. I don't know if he knew that guy was going to hit him. Kellen sort of hangs him up here a little bit. Great. Goes up, makes a catch, hangs on despite taking just a wicked hit right there. And again, that's how tough a receiver he is.
Down to the 1 yard line. In comes Jonathan Stewart. Get used to this one.
Right up the middle, and Jonathan Stewart right up the middle. Touchdown!
We moved the pile, I'll tell you what. Now, we need to do a better job in our blocking. Again, but great push there by Tim Day. We need to seal that outside edge a little bit, but he just gets in there and with power, lowers his pad level, gets in the end zone.
He touched the ball 8 times in the game, and he had 3 touchdowns. It's 28-13. How is his ankle?
Well, it's probably a little bit sore, but I'm sure it doesn't hurt quite as bad today.
Not with 3 touchdowns, that's for sure. Now, Oregon really gaining steam. You can tell the defense is really feeling it. Stanford maybe starting to doubt themselves a little bit. Some penalties, though, kind of gave them a little bit of hope on this drive. Roughing the passer. Here's a replay of it, Coach.
Yeah, again, you cannot. He's trying to get his hands up to block the pass and inadvertently caught the quarterback in the helmet, which you cannot do.
And here's Evans for a yard. Haloti makes the stop, and then the pressure. Linebackers, safeties, corners coming from all over on this day.
Yeah, great job by Matt Toyin and Nick Reed combining to create the intentional grounding penalty.
Another look at it. A lot of people are saying, well, it's between the tackles, but you got to get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the ball has to pass the line of scrimmage.
And he was not able to do that, and so Stanford has to punt. Ducks take over. Don't waste any time putting this one away against Stanford.
Double tight end and both uncovered. And back to throw. Clemens sets up, looks down to right, wants to go deep for DEMETRIUS. Way down there, he's there, and he makes the grab and goes down at the 7-yard line. And what a catch, and what a throw by Kellen Clemens.
Nice job here. One of the things that we've changed about Kellen's style is trying to get a little bit more loft on the ball to allow our guys to make plays. Last year, he occasionally overthrew people. Today, again, with the wind, he was being a little bit careful about throwing, but great catch. Way to go up and get that football and a touchdown-saving tackle.
Big play there, and Oregon in the red zone again. Stewart here for 6 yards. Coach almost propelled himself in here with his arm.
Yeah.
And it could have been reviewed.
I thought so, too. I thought he scored. I don't know what they called down, where they marked it, because his hand was down, but the ball went in the end zone before he needed a touch.
Back to Stewart going right. Little hesitation and easily gets it into the end zone for the touchdown.
That little hesitation was almost dropping the ball. We talked about it. You just got to focus on the football. You may not see it here. He drops it right there twice. traps it against his thigh, makes a guy miss, and gets in the end zone. And I had to talk with him a little bit about focus on that football when he came off.
So Oregon really starting to pull away, 35-13 here, and scoring every time they got the football. Then here on a kickoff, you know, getting another opportunity to have the football. I know you talk about your kickoffs. I know you love to see the touchbacks, but hey, picking up a fumble is not bad either.
No, picking up a fumble is good. I'm not sure if Rodney Woods created that. Chris Vincent came up with it. Maybe we'll see it here. But this kick didn't go the exact way we wanted. Again, right there. Oh, there's the ball out right there. It was Rodney Woods. Knocked it out. Chris Vincent gets it almost right in the air. He and Jerome Boyd make sure we keep it.
Ducks look to put another one in right away.
Lemons, little shovel inside. Plenty of room for Jeremiah Johnson. 10-5. Touchdown, Jeremiah Johnson. There is a flag down. Flag down on the play.
Well, Jeremiah, that's an illegal sign. You can't do any of that. He knows that. He'll know it more tomorrow, I guarantee you. The penalty actually is on Enoka Lucas right here. If you watch him, he knocks the guy down, then knocks him down again, and that's what they call. That is totally legal by football rules. I don't understand that. Again, we'll find out, but I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. It took away a touchdown, though, unfortunately.
So it was a 30-yard penalty because both penalties are enforced. And what a great job just putting it back in position to get some points out of the drive.
I was so fired up about this because I was very frustrated by it. Great throw and catch by James Finley, which, again, puts us down in. Yeah, we were 3rd and 40, right?
That's correct, yeah.
3rd and 40. We got more than half of it back there, which gives us a chance to kick the field goal, which we convert, and I was so pleased. I thought that was a great statement about that thing.
That Finley pickup was a 26-yarder, and so Martinez from 44 makes it 38-13, and the game, for all intents and purposes, is over. Cardinal trying to stay in it. They were kind of chipping away and getting some help along the way. Traverso for 6 yards, and then Evans here for 16, and Trucks gets the personal foul for 15 more. And the penalties, I know, Coach, are something you'll be talking to your team a lot about this week.
Absolutely. That is something that is unacceptable. It didn't cost us in this game, but in a close game against a better opponent, it will.
Cardinal not able to take advantage, even though they get the PI right here as they get it down close. But, well, they got a couple of PIs on Jackie Bates, but this time the Duck defense is going to take this one into their own hands.
First down for Edwards, right hash mark, Oregon 16. He'll probably run it. That's been working. Goes back to throw. Wants it over the middle. It is picked off, intercepted. Justin Finnessy at the 10, going to reverse field at the 15, is going to get almost caught from behind, gets away, 30, needs a block, gets by at the 40, 45, he's got it, 50, he's going to go to the 40 if he's got speed, 30, down to the 20, he's at the 10 and down. What a great run back by Justin Finnessy.
Tremendous effort by Justin. First of all, great play and a great run back. Great pressure here, creates the need to throw. Blair Phillips coming on the blitz. Great job by Justin right there. Then it's like a punt return. Open field, makes guys miss. Feels Bradford on his back shoulder, makes the cut away from that, makes that guy miss. Steph misses steps out of a tackle right there, another attempt, 2 more attempts, and now it's off to the races. That's a long play when you run 30 yards to catch the ball. Now you got to run 80 yards the other way and finally get stopped from behind.
And 20 or 30 yards across the field, too. He was all over the place. What a great play by Justin Finnessy. And Oregon in complete control here. Offense scored on every possession. Got 2 turnovers. You're at 500 yards of total offense. They're on their way to 20 yards in the second half, 15 yards actually, as they lost some yards at the end. Just a great third quarter.
It was, and it was what we should come to expect from this football team, this football program, in terms of what we're ready to do when the offense is playing like that, when the defense responds. And again, we just got to get special teams shored up. I'm talking about that. But overall, very, very pleased that we took the game, which was close, and it made it not close.
Yeah, game no longer in doubt, so that gives Oregon a chance to look at some new faces in the fourth quarter. We'll look at the future of Oregon football on display at Stanford Stadium. A solid debut by freshman Jeremiah Johnson as the Ducks cruising to victory at Stanford. Oregon football and Mike Bellotti continues right after this.
This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Oregon Electric Station and Doyle's Harley Davidson. This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Ward Insurance and Eugene Home Sales Center.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's go ahead and go right to the fourth quarter highlights. Oregon in command at Stanford, and Oregon missed a 24-yard field goal to open the quarter and missed it left, and Stanford had a quick 3 and out. And now a good long look at Dennis Dixon.
Snap, back to throw. Straight drop. Throws it over the middle. It is caught. What a grab.
This is a nice throw. This is a really good rhythm on the throw. And this is a shot perfectly placed. And again, good job by Jason Williams. Sort of double clutches it that comes up with the ball.
20 yards to the Stanford 26. A nice game for Jason Williams coming out party in the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Done a nice job right here. Scored on this play. Unfortunately called back. Inoka Lucas again on a hold. And I'm not sure I can see it. I don't understand it. But again, got the penalty called.
So there's the flag on the field. And it moves back. Most of the fans for the Stanford fans anyway, have left for the afternoon. Brian Pasinger also in the ballgame, making some nice catches. And then again for 6 yards onto the outside here. And then the freshman with a little reward after a solid debut.
Under center. And going to go pitch. Student body left. Going hard. It is Jeremiah Johnson who will go through everybody and go to the touchdown.
Nice job by Jeremiah. This is not blocked perfectly by any means. At the line of scrimmage, you see it here. Pretty good job initially. We missed the linebacker and the safety, and again, at that point, boom, Jeremiah just does it on his own. Breaks 2 tackles en route to the touchdown.
So 44-13, still with 10 minutes to go in the game. Kellen Clemens is done, and Paul Martinez in for the extra point, and might have got tipped. He's had a little trouble with extra points, Coach. He made 1 field goal, but would you possibly look at opening up the extra point job, although Paul's leading the country in field goals?
We may, in all honesty, simply because that trajectory was poor on that play, and I've got to get him to relax and kick through the ball. We talked about the fact that an extra point is just like a 42-yard field goal. Should be no difference in the way the ball is kicked.
Defense, Jackie Bates in for a loss of 2. He really, I thought, improved as the game went along.
He did, and he'll get better and better as he plays more. Just a lot of this is just game experience. Nick Reed, nice job on the sack. Nick was in on 2 hurries or sacks on the day, and he's a great pass rusher.
They punted. Sherrod Davis getting a chance as a punt returner here and loses the football.
Yeah, and that was we talked about the fact that we wanted to look at a backup punt returner, just getting some action, getting some seasoning. He didn't quite handle that one. Came back later and handled a nice punt later on to do a good job.
They didn't do anything with it. Your defense, again, just going after him. Devin Long up the middle. They lost 13 yards total on this drive, and they had to punt the football again. So, it's not like that fumble really mattered. Defense, again, just dominating the football game.
No. Good job, Terrell Jackson there. Different little look play. Bring in Brady Leaf, who don't quite convert that 3rd down conversion. There's a little bit of pressure in his face.
And then they get to the punt here, Coach. It looks like they overloaded the one side, and blocker had to choose between 2 guys.
We very simply didn't block it correctly. We did not block 37. We're supposed to block him. We knew he was the guy that was going to come. We've talked about it all during the week. We don't touch him. He gets a free shot right there, and it's difficult. So we obviously still need a lot of work to do in our kicking game.
So Haloti would have normally grabbed the guy on the inside and then the outside blocker. I see. Okay, so Oregon giving up the touchdown there, 44-20. They'll be able to learn from that during the week in a situation that they've have the game well in hand. And again, Dixon getting a chance to play. And Jeremiah Johnson picking off 11 here, 12 there on the next play. And got to be pleased about Jeremiah Johnson. The injuries precipitated pulling him out of his redshirt year, and he probably didn't disappoint except right at the beginning, but he sure improved during the game.
No, he's a quality running back. I again wanted, as I said, the luxury of getting to redshirt, in which we are not going to have that luxury anymore, but he's going to be a great contributor. Here again, makes a key 1st down, just drives, puts his head down, runs with some power.
Nearly 600 yards of total offense, and that's with the first-team offense only playing 3 quarters. 6 straight scoring drives, 8 straight drives with scoring opportunities, and the first Pac-10 win of the 2005 season for the Oregon Ducks.
Offensively, I was pleased. We still need to run the football a little better, but I think we were efficient with that later in the game. Penalties killed us. The game a little bit closer than that. We can't have those kind of penalties. Defense played well in the second half. I think pitched a second half shutout, which is awesome. We're excited. I mean, 4-1 is pretty good right now, getting ready to go down and play the Devils.
We feel real good. I mean, we came out here to prove a point to pretty much everyone that watches us or has faith in us or doesn't have faith in us, that we're unstoppable. So, I mean, what happened last week is not what's going to happen for the rest of the season.
We came out here with a lot of enthusiasm. We started off kind of sluggish at the beginning of the game, but I think, as time went on, we realized, we got to make some plays, and everybody stepped up. Defense did a really good job second half, and just made plays.
We've been having trouble in the second half lately, so Coach Bellotti did a little motivating, you guess you could say, and at halftime, which
It was awesome. It inspired me, and I think it inspired some other guys. And we went out there, and we just got our 3 and out, got our offense on the field, and let them do what they do best, which is score touchdowns. I mean, coming here on the road and winning is a key thing. Secondly, it's just it's all about us, and we kind of came in the game knowing that. And our defense, I think as a whole, we have to learn how to come out early, pumped up, get in the zone is what I call it, and stay in the zone for 4 quarters. It's always good when you can learn and win at the same time, but eventually it's going to come down to where we have to man up, get in the zone, learn what we have to do, and get it done.
And that's what we exactly did at Stanford. And Devin Long said a little motivating done during the game. I guess another big week of motivation as you got a big one coming up.
Yeah, this will be tough. Arizona State's a very good football team, took USC right down to the wire. We need to improve on some of the little things that we failed to do in this game that, again, may hurt us down the road. Kicking game, penalties especially, those will be huge points of emphasis this week.
Hard to believe it's almost halfway there. I mean, 5 games in, 4-1. It's a good spot to be in. If you just overall look at it, 4-1's not a bad spot to be in.
No, I take 5-0, but 4-1 is good. I feel good about where we're at as a team. We're healthy. We're going to get some people back. A.J. Tuatele missed this game, but, again, guys stepped up for him. He'll be back in 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully. Everybody else is healthy. We should get Terrence Whitehead back. That'll be good because we really have a combination in the backfield I like.
2 straight on the road. We talked about Arizona State. Having to play them there is not going to be easy either. And a big one coming up. We'll talk more about the Sun Devils. They're going to have to come back from a disappointing loss to the Trojans, a little bit like Oregon did. The Sun Devils at home against Oregon next week, and also the Pac-10. We'll talk about that as the Ducks get prepared for a trip down to the desert. Next on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti after this.
Ball catching. And it's touchdown, Sun Devils.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Kendall Auto Group and Michael's Leather and Oak. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Albertsons and Bi-Mart.
Welcome back, everyone. Pac-10 action over the weekend, the first full weekend of Pac-10 play, and saw some good games over the weekend, and I'll tell you what, Washington State let one get out of their grasp, and got to give credit to the Beavers. Mike Hass on a scramble after Matt Moore threw it to him with the go-ahead touchdown, and the Beavers a big comeback win against Washington State.
That's a big win because it'll break through for a lot of yards, but interceptions and turnovers are really the key, and Beavers came back strong.
Washington and UCLA, the Huskies, believe it or not, had a 10-0 lead at halftime, but they were not able to hold it. At the end, they fumbled the opening punt of the second half. They also fumbled it away late in the game, and UCLA took advantage, and Maurice Drew, the touchdown with a minute to go, just over a minute, and UCLA comes back to beat Washington. And what can you say about USC? Down 21-3 at halftime. Lendale White nearly 200 yards rushing. Reggie Bush not far behind with 160. And what a juggernaut the Trojans are. And ASU going to have to come back. Boy, I guess Oregon knows a lot what that's like, having to come back from a loss like that. So ASU losing to the Trojans 38-28 is the final. And, Coach, what about that, just coming back from a loss like that?
Well, SC's a talented team, and their 2 running backs go for that much, but their offensive line is what does it. I think coming back, again, ASU's got to feel good about themselves. They competed. That's the #1 team in the nation, 24, whatever, how many straight wins. So I have a feeling they'll be fine. We need to make sure that we don't relax at all, that we continue to get better and better.
Did a lot of good things in this game, too, Coach. They've got a lot of good players. I mean, they're deep, tight ends, receivers, running backs. Keller, we've seen him throw for a ton of yards. He did it against Oregon State a week ago, and then against USC as well. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, Hagan, Zach Miller, the tight end, Rudy Burgess, Keegan Herring, they really have a very talented offense, a very diverse offense, tight end oriented, but diverse.
Of course, the Ducks and the Sun Devils, a 7 o'clock game down in Tempe, and what a big one that's going to be for your football team. A chance to go to 5-1, and 2 top 25 teams going at it. Big crowd, going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be a night game, so the temperature won't hurt us. That's good.
That's good, and also the crowd will be ready to go, and I know a lot of Duck fans will be down there as well. All right, when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti, a special story. Going to mix it up a bit. The Oregon cheerleaders always willing to go the extra mile, but in this case, that's the understatement of the year. That and more when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by RV Corral and Northwest Chevy Dealers. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, we all know how hard the Oregon cheerleaders work, and in doing so, they continue to solidify their position at the top of the Pac-10 and the nation when it comes to talent and teamwork. And by definition, what they do is support others. Now, though, a group of cheerleaders are going the distance in the support for others. That distance, more than 26 miles. Here's Nicole Abeda.
There's a line from an old poem that reads, "For running is life, and life is running." And you could say that applies to this group of young women.
Mile 11, 12, you start to feel it, your muscles start to get tired, but you know, I think we all just feel really blessed to have the ability to go out there and do something like run a marathon. So to be able to do it to help people who are sick, it makes it even more amazing.
These 5 members of the Oregon cheerleading squad are a few weeks shy from running their first marathon. A marathon where, with every step, will be one closer to saving lives. The team is part of Team in Training, an organization that will train you for the race while you raise money and awareness for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
It's a cause that's definitely close to everyone's hearts, and so it's motivating us even more to run it.
Each member revealing their own motivations, pushing them to the next mile marker. For Valorie, it's finding healing from losing an uncle to the disease.
Once my uncle had passed, we were really close, and it was a really long grieving process for me. It was really hard going through that, and but you know, I said I want to do something in order to reach other people who've been through this, and help other families, and you know, possibly save a life.
For Callie, who unexpectedly lost her grandmother in April to acute leukemia, the commitment to run a distance she never imagined she was capable of is one she's determined to see through.
When they said, well, it's for the, you know, through this group called Team in Training, and it's for leukemia and lymphoma, I was like, I'm doing it. Like that second, I decided that I was going to do it, and I'm not. I mean, the longest I run before that's probably 5 miles. So I was really nervous, and you know, lots of times I thought I was going to drop out and not be able to make it through, but it's great having so many girls on the squad to run with.
For Natalie, Melissa, and Erin, a marathon has always been on their life to-do list. And when they heard about this race, they couldn't let their friends do it without them by their side.
If I was ever going to have any reason to run a marathon, this was going to be it.
After 5 long months of 6 a.m. wake-up calls, in between cheer practice, school, and duck football games, these women are finally one stride closer to crossing that finish line.
Something that's going to be going through my mind is I'm actually doing this. It's like, you know, a goal that we've all set out for, and finishing the race is just, you know, my main goal. And if I have to crawl through the finish line, I'll do it, you know, just to make sure that I have done something good for somebody else.
The Team in Training Marathon is set for October 23rd in San Francisco.
And here's how you can help. Send your donation or maybe make a call to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Go to 1460 East 20th Avenue. Do this in care of the athletic department as well. Or you can call 346-4481 and ask for the cheerleading office. Coach, big one at ASU next week. It'll be a lot of fun down there, and a big challenge for your team.
We have to step up our game, clean up special teams, and get ready to go.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for watching.